be showing up at this meeting. Trustee Spiegel. I'm here. Trustee Loizo.
Present.
Trustee Socorro.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay. The first item on the agenda is public speaking, if anyone wishes to address the board.
I will say one thing,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman. I just want to follow up on the meeting that we last had concerning this lawsuit, where a shade meeting is about to begin. Just an update. There's no new legal proceedings because they're waiting for us to answer, which is due on a reply, which is due on February 2nd. We'll be talking about selection of lawyer in the shade meeting. A question was raised by the trustees at the last meeting concerning the authority to sue the three individual trustees, Trustee Socorro, Asim, and Loizo. I had asked the city attorney that question, and I'd shared the answer with you at the last meeting, but you wanted the question asked again, which Marty did most promptly and most fully. The answer that we got from the city attorney was essentially the same answer that he gave me. A little more explanation as to the basis of the city charter for doing it, but he said that his client, remember his client is the city, that's who he entered an appearance on behalf of, has authorized the lawsuit against the three individuals, and that the decision was his. And because that's the way the city operates under the city charter, he has the right to make that decision. So that was his answer, and I just wanted to report that to you.
On that note, I'd actually like you to read in the record the way the reply came publicly.
Do you have it, Marty?
I
Do you
know
have
I
it,
do.
Linda?
I can find it, but Marty, do you have it? I know that I had it.
Is this the first reply or the second reply?
This is the reply that I can almost quote it, that said, nobody in bold letters tells me whom in bold letters I can sue. According to the charter, I have full authority. And then something to the effect that no amount of pressure or media or political pressure is going to make me change my mind. I have real concerns about the tone of that email. It appears as though now that the city attorney has chosen to do this because they did not do this with the general employees, and he has chosen to make this personal lawsuit personal. And when you read and look at that email, the tone of it is very disturbing, and I think that it should be part of the public record because the public should see that the city is supposedly trying to come to an agreement with the members of the plan and the union, and then they have their city attorney who chose, because the clearly the council meeting, just like with the general employees, authorizes him to institute a lawsuit, but never says, and by the way, make sure you sue them personally. He chose to do it, but then he italicizes, he puts in bold print his authority, and that he will not succumb to any pressure. I don't know what pressure he's talking about, and had he not mentioned it, I wouldn't have even thought about the media, but it does come to mind as a good source. That's pretty disturbing to me and to the members, and I wanted everyone to know it.
I think we can accomplish your request to make it part of the public record by asking Marty to attach the email to the minutes of this meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
There's no objection from,
Mr. Attorney,
Okay.
ma'am.
since it went from the pension administrator to the city attorney and came back from the city attorney to the pension administrator, is it not, in fact, already a public
Of
record?
course, yes.
Okay. If there's no further discussion, yes, I'm sorry.
I just want to make, for the record, in our last meeting, we had no police officer entering drop or retiring as of January 1st or going forward. However, one of the police officers has changed their mind, and they entered the drop effective 1/1/2015.
How does that happen in less than 3 weeks? They can,
Well, this particular police officer already had the paperwork done. Everything was ready to go on time. He came to my office December 1st, filled all the paperwork out, and then last week decided to pull it, and then he changed his mind. So, I just want to get to the board, know what's going on, that's all. That's the only one I have as of right now.
And you had indicated 2 meetings ago that there was an officer who was planning on entering February 1, 2015.
Yeah, that officer has not also pulled it back.
Okay.
Did we have public comment? Did you want to say anything before? Because remember, we're going to have a shade meeting, so after this, we're going, okay. We're good, Bob?
All right, now if you would announce on the record, please, that we're going to go into a shade meeting, announce where we're going and who will be there.
Okay, we're
Just
going.
everybody in this room except the office.
What's the room called again?
Ante-room.
The anteroom. We'll be going over to the anteroom for the beginning of our shade meeting, and it will be the board members in attendance, minus Mayor Vallejo, our attorney Bob Sugarman, Assistant Plan Administrator Ronaldo, our Plan Administrator Marty Leibowitz, Bob's partner or assistant, partner, Ivalise. What's the last? I'm sorry?
Barrio LeBeau.
Okay, Barrio LeBeau. Oh, that's not that bad. And we'll be going, and the court reporter, that's... And Bob. Did I say Bob? Yeah, the attorney. And the court reporter, which I assume is in the room. Are we adjourned, or how does this...
No, now we move. Yeah,
We
this
move,
part of the
okay.
meeting's adjourned.
Okay.
Oh,
Do we come
Just
back
announce
after the
that-
meeting?
at the conclusion of the litigation, the full transcript of the shade meeting will be available for public review in the pension office. It will become a public record at that time. At the end of the shade meeting, the court reporter will transcribe the proceedings and will send the transcript to Marty, but he will treat that as he treats our other non-public records, and that will be in a confidential file in the pension office.
Okay, but-
Available, of course, to the trustees, but not to the public.
After the shade meeting, do we come back to this room to adjourn, or we just adjourn from there?
Done.
Okay. So I guess we're done in this room for now. We're all moving.